If you're thinking of moving to Connecticut, it's important to know both the pros and the cons. Today, I'm breaking down the biggest benefits and the drawbacks of living here so you can decide if this is the right place for you. Connecticut gets talked about a lot online, usually by people who drove through it on the way to Boston or to New York, and now they consider themselves experts. I'm Dave Jones, and I've actually lived here my whole life, raised my family here, built a business here, and I help people relocate here every single day. So you're getting the real insider version. Let's jump right into it. Pro number one, affordable cost of living compared to New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Connecticut could be surprisingly affordable. A lot of people expect the entire Northeast to be outrageously expensive, and the large parts of the state are still very reasonable. You can find great single-family homes in towns like Prospect, Southington, Bristol, Torrington, Waterbury that are far less pricey than similar homes an hour away just over the state line. The sneaky part most people don't realize is how much house you get for the money in Connecticut. Our housing stock is older, sturdier, and built on bigger lots than many faster growing states. It's not unusual to buy a home with real hardwood floors, mature landscaping, and a solid basement instead of paying top dollar for what's basically a fancy apartment pretending to be a house. Current stats back that up. As of 2025, going into 2026, the median sale price in Connecticut is hovering right around $360,000 to $380,000, depending on the county. That shocks a lot of people who assume you need $500,000 just to get a mailbox here in Connecticut. Now, property taxes do play a large role in affordability, which I'll hit on in the cons, but the day-to-day expenses like utilities, groceries, services, they're generally moderate. Gas prices are in the middle of the road. Electrical costs have improved a little bit. Renewable options have greatly helped that. Talk to me about solar before you do solar. The bottom line is Connecticut is not cheap, but it's often cheaper than people expect. Pro number two, we have a very strong job market. Connecticut punches in above its weight when it comes to employment. We've got major insurance companies, healthcare systems, aerospace, defense manufacturers, universities, biotech firms, huge small business all throughout our communities. Hartford is literally known as the insurance capital of the world. Cheshire is the betting capital of the world. Fairfield County is packed with corporate headquarters and financial services. New Haven has Yale, one of the best medical corridors in the country. Here is something most YouTube videos never mention. Connecticut also has the highest concentration of engineers per capita in America. And that's because of companies like Sikorsky, Pratt & Whitney, Electric Boat, and dozens of other precision manufacturing firms. So a lot of people move here thinking they're coming to a sleepy little colonial state, and then they realize their neighbor designed submarines, helicopters, jet engines. It's not exactly something you run into at a random HOA in Florida. Around the 2026 spring market, unemployment in Connecticut has been sitting near historic lows, right around 4% statewide, with the average household income about $80,000. Those numbers make it a very stable place to build a career. And because so many companies now allow remote and hybrid work, Connecticut has quietly become a landing zone for people who work in New York, work in Boston, collect those great salaries, all while enjoying Connecticut home prices. That trend has exploded since 2020, and it is still going strong. Relocating for work is a huge reason people choose the state of Connecticut. The majority of people living here are doing it because of the jobs and the affordability combination. That traffic and commute learning curve can be brutal when you're new, but there are back roads and side streets that us locals know to help dodge the worst of it. Those are the little things that my team can help you with, and we help people with that every day when they relocate to Connecticut. Like which towns are best for certain industries, where the employment hubs really are, and how to match your career goals with the right community. Connecticut has nuances and good guidance matters. Pro number 3, we have great weather and outdoor activities. You get 4 real seasons here in Connecticut. Spring is gorgeous. Summer is warm. Fall looks like a Hallmark movie. And winter, well, winter is going to make you want to call me to find a property in Florida because winters are tough. But it's character building. Overall, the climate is a big positive. Temperatures in the summer usually sit in the 80s. Fall brings the cool, crisp air and incredible foliage that people come from all over to see. Connecticut has beaches on Long Island Sound, hiking trails in the Litchfield Hills, skiing in the Northwest Corner, boating on lakes like Candlewood Lake and my favorite, Banham Lake, and more state parks than most people would ever guess. So here's your first unexpected insight. Because Connecticut is a coastal state, our winters are actually a little milder than places just a short distance up and in. The Atlantic Ocean actually acts as a giant temperature regulator. So newcomers expect Arctic tundra and end up realizing it's cold, but it's not Minnesota cold. That difference is a big deal. You can actually golf in Connecticut in April. You can swim in June, July, August, and September. You can apple pick in October, and you can complain about shoveling in January, but it keeps life interesting, which brings me to Pro 4. We have a diverse culture in entertainment. Connecticut may be small, but it's incredibly diverse. New Haven has world-class restaurants, theaters, music venues. Hartford offers museums, nightlife. Fairfield County delivers big city energy. Mystic and the shoreline towns have tourism and charm. One of my favorite perks is that you can experience completely different vibes just in a short 60-minute drive. Trendy urban lofts, quiet farmland, waterfront villages, historic small towns. Connecticut has all of it. Entertainment options are endless. We have one of the biggest casinos in the country at Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. We have minor league baseball with the Yard Goats. We have Yukon sports. It is the basketball capital of the world, they claim. We have festivals, breweries, wineries, plenty of places to go grab wine to celebrate your closing. And now we'll talk about pro number 5. Connecticut is welcoming to all. The state is built for everybody. We have great schools. We have amazing youth sport programs. We have amazing communities, tons of local events. Towns like Cheshire, Wallingford, Wolcott, Watertown, and Simsbury are known for their excellent education systems and strong property values. Connecticut communities tend to be tight-knit. People actually know their neighbors here, sometimes a little too well, but it's still a positive. Pro number 6, access to nature and parks. Whether it's Sleeping Giant State Park, Hammonasset Beach State Park, Kent Falls, Hubbard Park, the Farmington River Trail, outdoor access is everywhere. The Northwest Corner offers protected lands, scenic beauty that make people feel like they moved into a postcard. Again, my favorite is Banham Lake. It's out of a movie. Connecticut is green, lush, and preserved, and that is by design. Now let's flip the coin. Con number 1, there is a high cost of living here. It's the blunt truth. Taxes are the main reason Connecticut has a reputation for being expensive. Property taxes, income taxes, car taxes, overall state tax burden is higher than the national average. A lot of buyers don't expect this second surprise. Connecticut is one of the only states where your vehicle can be taxed annually by the town you live in. Nothing says welcome to New England like getting a bill for the Honda that's been sitting in your driveway minding its own business. So yes, while home prices can be affordable, the tax structure can definitely raise your overall cost, and it is a huge trade-off for strong services and great infrastructure. Con number 2, traffic congestion and long commutes. If you live along I-95 or I-84, traffic is going to be an issue. Fairfield County commuters heading into New York to deal with crowded highways will tell you. As a New York Mets fan that goes to many games, I know to plan ahead. Some days I can get there in an hour and a half. If I'm trying to go during the day, it could be 3.5. Hartford area drivers see rush hour backups. Snow days and construction don't help, but at least you'll have plenty of time to listen to our YouTube videos in the car. So there is that. Con number 3, extreme weather challenges. Whether it's nor'easters with multiple feet of snow, heavy rain for what seems like days on end, winter storms, hurricanes occasionally. Most residents handle it fine, but shoveling, plowing, icy roads and parking lot can definitely be a hassle. Connecticut weather keeps you humble. Con number 4, crime rates in certain cities. Overall, Connecticut is pretty safe, but there are certain cities we need to be careful of. Like any state, it's gonna have its pockets that struggle. Cities such as Hartford, Bridgeport, New Haven, Waterbury are going to have higher than average crime compared to rural towns. Suburban communities are generally very secure. The key is picking the right town, and that's where local expertise becomes priceless. Con number 5, overcrowding and population density. Connecticut is the 4th most densely populated state in America. That means smaller roads, closer homes, and more people packed into a little space. Unexpected insight number 2, despite the density ranking, Connecticut has been losing population slightly in some counties, while gaining it in others. So it's not a simple story of growth everywhere. Some towns actually feel quieter now than they did 15 years ago. Con number 6, some areas have limited job opportunities. Certain industries, if you're looking for a tech startup and culture like Silicon Valley, that's not Connecticut. Connecticut really is not that place. We have stable corporate jobs, but fewer flashy new economy opportunities. Some specialized fields are harder to break into, and you'll notice that here in Connecticut. So when you're moving to Connecticut to relocate, there are so many moving parts, and I'm only scratching the surface with these 6 pros and 6 cons in my video today. But that's why my team can help you navigate a lot of the other nuances, the schools, the commuting options, the hidden costs, the shoreline versus the inland living, and even understanding how Connecticut offer process works in a competitive market. I'll tell you something, it's way different than the state you're coming from, I would guess. Whether you're planning to move here tomorrow or years down the road, we can help build a smart long-term plan using all our systems and our daily experience. Now let's talk about some common objections buyers have about moving to Connecticut, because I hear them all the time. People worry that Connecticut is too expensive. As we discussed, it could be, but not everywhere. Smart town selection matters. Look at the mill rate of the town. That is the individual tax of the town. Another objection is that the homes are very, very old. True, many are, but old in Connecticut usually means they were well built. They're not falling apart. A 1960s Connecticut ranch is the tough guy in the gym who still looks good for his age. And buyers also think the process is very complicated here. It is a little more formal. Attorneys are common in transactions, but not until the end. The realtor is doing the contract here in Connecticut. Our paperwork is very detailed, and that structure actually protects the consumers far more than most states, where deals are sealed with a handshake and a smile. In Connecticut, you're protected by paperwork. Current housing stats. I'll give you my honest perspective on the Connecticut market here in 2026. It is tight. Inventory is low, demand is high, and we are still seeing multiple offers on many different price ranges. Average days on market statewide is around 30. Well-priced homes are often selling in the first weekend. And here is another sneaky fact most buyers never expect. Connecticut has an unusually high percentage of homes with full basements. It's not like Florida where everything is on a slab. Many southern states, in fact, don't have basements. Connecticut, almost all homes do. So this is a great value add with all this extra storage. That's why you'll see so many Connecticut homes marked with finished lower levels. Another stat, we have very strict septic and well regulations. That can feel like a con, but it prevents nightmare purchases. Again, guardrails. Connecticut is a balanced mix of affordability, opportunity, and quality of life, wrapped in a tax structure with traffic patterns that require a little getting used to. So if you value stability, strong community, and access to everything from beaches to mountains, this state is hard to beat. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check out my other videos on moving to Connecticut so you can keep stacking knowledge.